All right. Um, so, update. First things first is I went through the process of sort of starting to pull this apart, the power steering rack, and the two hoses here, the high pressure and the low pressure in and out, are completely different to the one that's on the car. So um, I did a bit of research, and essentially, this is a non-Hicus steering rack, whereas the one that's in the car is for the Hicus, and that's the four-wheel steering and that system that I showed at the back before. So what that means is I probably can't use this one. And the reason being is the Hicus steering has it's got a solenoid on it, and it actually is variable power steering, so it'll give more assistance at low speeds and less assistance at high speeds. So, and I mean, I really like the steering feel of the car, and I don't really want to lose that. So I'm afraid that I might. And apparently, also the other thing is that then the power steering pumps are different for this style of rack too. They need to be able to sort of do that in terms of giving more or less power, or force, I suppose, or assistance. Anyway, so that's a bit of a roadblock. What I did find was, so I think, well, actually, I'm certain that a lot of the clunking and a lot of the noises were coming from the sway bar. So if you look, is it here or there? Yeah, there you go. See that there, how the washer's really eaten into the bar and gone through the paint? Hopefully that thread's okay. Oh, actually, no, there's no thread, so it's fine. Anyway, it had the bar had actually shifted over, so it wasn't actually seated evenly, which is apparently that happens, but it's also a little bit frustrating because essentially the concern here is that my end links were not installed correctly, and that's a bit of a user error, I think. These are some heavy duty end links that I bought and I installed a while back. You can see them there, and then these are the stock ones. You can see that they're a lot thinner. The boots, that one's actually not too bad, but the other one here, the boot on the other one was stuffed. So I had to get new ones of those anyway when I was putting in the new bar. Anyway, long story short, these lock nuts have, do they have a lip up the top, or is it? No, I think it's just the thread on these. But anyway, when you start, see how that spins really easily, it gets to a particular point, and then it becomes very difficult, and it's super painful and annoying putting these on. Anyway, so I think what had happened was I'd not tightened them enough, which is problematic. I also, looking at some other kits that are around, they've got spacers and stuff like that to help them seat better. This kit just came with a couple of washers, which the more research I've done just wasn't really enough for them to be positioned correctly so that they were holding the bar. You can see what happened here when this one was coming off. That's what you call a stripped thread, and they've got a piece in here to stop them from spinning. So you put your Allen key in there, and then you get it off. I'd completely forgotten about that, and used my vice grips here. It's not too bad, but I think this was taking the brunt of that movement, and this one here is already sort of spinning in there in place. So that indicates that this is already, even though the boot's all in good nick, that end link, that bottom piece is actually kind of worn. So yeah, a sort of a hard lesson learnt, I guess, in terms of those. So I've ordered some new ones. It's a little bit frustrating. You know, it's $150 worth of parts that I stuffed up, and I shouldn't have done that. But you know, you live and learn. What else? These are you know, I've got some of these connecting point, you know, adjustable arms and stuff. They're not tightened down. So I'm going to go through and do a full review of those, fix them up. So that's pretty much it for the time being. Wait for the new end links to come. Then it's going to be. I'm honestly starting to think about maybe doing the brakes on this. I've already got rotors. I've already got calipers down there. Oh shit! I should have been. Why am I filming it like this? I realized with the last one that I should be filming like this. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, no. So the thing is though, if I do the fronts, then I'm going to need to do the rear. And with that, I'll be buying probably some new. You know, these rotors are probably pretty good though, to be honest. I sort of want to check them out and find out. And then potentially rebuild these calipers. So we'll see. You know, if I'm gonna do, I'm sure they're actually fine. The rears don't really do anything. I guess if I just rebuild the calipers, put new seals in it, see you later. I mean, there's literally zero lip on that. I mean, I might be buying the bloody things for no good reason. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I think today's very brief project is actually going to be a little bit of engine detailing. So I started watching some videos on that, and it all looks pretty darn straightforward. You know, I've got a brush, and I'll put some bit of water on there, and yeah. So here's the before. Oh shit. It's mucky and dirty as anything. That was sort of the original idea, was just to keep it like that, because I didn't particularly care all that much. But now I'm thinking, why not do it up? This is a little bit worn, so I probably won't be spraying water directly on that. But yeah, here's the before. And shit, I'm not gonna get everything off, but if I can get a bit of grime off, I think, you know, that's obviously better than nothing. And ultimately, it's going to make it a nicer place to work in, particularly when it comes to dealing with this guy over there. Right, so I might get started. I'll show you the after very soon. I'm not going to spend long on this, to be honest. I just don't think it's worth it. But yes, wish me luck.